Yeah, underground legend, still haven't showed you my peak. I got morals and beliefs that my brothers keep on repeat until every mission's done and all the goals have been reached. Ignored me in my teens, but they listen since let me breathe. No LOLing, these man are funny, but I get the joke. They laughed when life was hard, but now they worry how I keep afloat. Yeah, I mean we used to plot and scheme the most.
Hello and welcome to Walk a Mile in My Shoes. I'm your host Keeley, and today's special guest is Romy. I bet you see that in all of my things. You're like, oh, here she goes.
Nah, not even.
So, funny story.
Yeah.
Me and you have been featured on the same song, but we've never met before.
Nope.
So here we are.
Yep.
In the same vicinity.
In the flesh.
Yes. And I'm ready to walk a mile in your shoes. So where do we start? Tell me about you.
Well, I'm an artist. Well, first of all, my name is Romeyfive. I go by the name of Romeyfive. I'm an artist from Birmingham. Been making music for a while now, but like I'm only just kind of like I'm comfortable now. So I feel like because I found my feet now. I feel like this is it now.
You ready to take off?
I'm ready to take off now. Yeah.
What
basically
triggered the takeoff?
Just kind of realization, to be fair, because I've got people around me that always say to me like, "Oh, you talented," and
You are very talented.
Thank you, but but I always have people telling me, "Oh, you talented," and I don't see it as a talent because it's just something that I do for fun. But I like the reaction to my music and stuff like that, so I just thought, you know what, maybe I should just take it a little bit more seriously, you know. And again, time's ticking in it, so just gotta keep it moving, really.
I've seen like quotes on no, is it in your bio when it says just be you unapologetically?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That really resonated with me.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
I think a lot of people struggle with being themselves, especially in this like this social realm that we're in at the moment, because a lot of it's like like Instagram based and all these other things, and you got people that are putting themselves under unnecessary pressure because they're trying to upkeep with the things that they see on their page, but that's not necessarily
the truth.
And you wouldn't. And I'm a very high believer in that. If you just be yourself, you end up on the path that is intended for you. But if you try and live somebody else's, you're gonna end up on a path that isn't necessarily destined for you. So I just think you just be yourself, man. Be comfortable, be yourself, and live your life, and just be happy. Just be happy.
Did you ever struggle with finding your own lane and stuff, or is that just something that you resonated with because you've seen it happen to other people?
I struggled, but more so when I was younger, though.
School times and stuff.
Yeah, school times, because again, when I don't know what it's like for a girl, but especially being a boy, you kind of try and find where you fit in on the food chain in life. So you hang around certain people and you do things, and you might think, oh yeah, this is, but then when you're like, your whole being just starts disagreeing with some of the things that you're around, like things that I once agreed with before, like I'm in total disagreement with it now, and I know that I wasn't necessarily doing what I was supposed to be doing. Do you know what I mean?
Evolution.
So, yes, but
I think I struggled with when I started doing my motivational videos on Instagram, because I was promoting positivity. I felt like I couldn't have bad days then, or showcase that I was having bad days because I was so positive and everyone was coming to me for motivation, but I'm just a human being too. And I think that's where I struggled to be me, because then I'd kind of set up something for myself and then I had to kind of come back into myself and stuff. Tell me more about you, Romy. When's your next music out?
So I'm currently working on a mixtape. I do not want to call it an album, it's too much pressure. So I'm working on a mixtape called Fifth Element, The Juice, and basically I was supposed to release, I think it was 2 EPs, one at the start of the year, one more near to the end, but I've decided to just smash them both together and just meet in the middle. So one was supposed to be called Fifth Element and the other was supposed to be called The Juice, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna give people a lengthy project and just let it all out. But that's not coming out until May, I think. I hope and pray that I get it done.
Isn't that your birthday around that time?
Yeah.
So is it going to be like a birthday project?
I wanted it to drop on my birthday, but I think my birthday falls on a Sunday this year. So
that's not a bad thing, though.
yeah, but I want it to be out on a Friday.
Oh,
and
okay.
at the same time, because of everything that's going on, I didn't really want to give people music while they were sitting in their house.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to be out in the sun, and hopefully we have good weather this year. But I want people to be out and enjoy the music properly. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
Is it, what kind of vibe is it?
all kinds of vibes. I don't really box myself into no genre. I just think if I like it, I'm gonna try it.
What music do you listen to?
If I don't listen to music that people think I listen to. Like I listen to a lot of old school music. I listen to, like, I've got a playlist on my phone, and it's just filled of James Brown, Otis Redding.
I love
like
that.
Oh yeah, I'm just like proper into the old stuff, and I listen to every single genre of music. I don't really. The only thing I'll probably say I wouldn't listen to or don't listen to is rock music. Not saying that I don't feel it. I just can't resonate with it.
Not even Meatloaf.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not no Meatloaf. But yeah, but there is some songs that I used to like when I was younger, but now I listen to music more that I can relate to, and music that moves me, that makes me feel a kind of way, because I think music is all about emotion and moving people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just listen to music that does that, and it's like I find that music these days, I'm not saying it's not good, but it doesn't hit me the way old music does.
Because don't you feel like old music, because I listen to Smooth FM in the car, and don't you feel like old music is more about like love and like unity and stuff? And nowadays it's all like, it's like scary music.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But I think, I don't know, I just think that it just matches the climate that we're in.
Yeah, you've got to adapt. I'm an old soul. It's hard for me to adapt.
Yeah, same. But I have to adapt because I
do.
can't do that. When realistically, I want to, if I'm being honest, I just want to make like a nice, smooth song that sounds more like it came from the 80s.
Yeah.
But I can't, because I don't think it will sit well, especially not with everything that I've done before. Maybe when I'm older and I got an excuse. But at the moment, I can't.
I'll do the hook, and that'll be your excuse.
Yeah. So that would be
literally.
The one.
Keeley made me do it. She made me.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Do you sing as well?
I try to. Yeah.
Same. Do you a good singer? Do you say? Are you singing on any of your songs that you're releasing?
Yeah. People tell me I can sing, but I'm just like, I don't think I can sing. I just think, I can hold a note. That's it. But people are like, nah, man, you can sing. I'm like, I don't think I can, but...
You look like a singer.
Why do people say this to me?
So you heard it
Someone said this to me
before.
before.
You look like a singer. You look like you'd be a good singer.
Yeah, I don't know how to take that.
It's a good thing. Sing me a song. I'm joking.
Nah, but yeah, people say to me, oh yeah, you can sing. So I just try, because before I can show you songs where I'm trying to sing, and it's like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? But now, because I'm just like, I've kind of found my bag, I found my pocket, so I'm all right with it now.
And in Coates's studio, Coatesy can make anybody sing.
Yeah,
Coatesy can make me sound like
a genius.
I don't want to say Beyonce, because I don't want to build up any expectations, but I sound better than I did without Coatesy. What's your other goals for like the future and your life and all that kind of stuff?
I just want to be happy, you know.
Inner peace is the real bag. I think I've learnt that a lot recently. I think I was always looking for like external factors to kind of make me feel happy inside, and then it kind of gets to the point, doesn't it, where you just have to like direct everything inwards.
Yeah, it starts inside. Nothing starts outside. Everything starts within. So if you wanna, it's like if you want to change your surroundings, you kind of have to want it from everything. Again, everything just starts within. So any change that you want to make, you have to really want it inside yourself, from the inside, and then you start physically making the changes to kind of match what you're feeling inside.
When did you come to that realization?
Wow, I went. Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit deep.
Let's
go. I just went through a very what year are we in? I just went through a very bad stage in life where everything was just bad.
Across the scale.
Yeah, everything was just not looking how I wanted it to look. Things were happening in very within like short time scales of each other, and when I was trying to deal with one thing, something else would happen, and this one thing would either be worse or even equal out what the last thing was, and it was very hard for me to kind of hold on to me as a person, if that makes sense. So I was trying to still be the person that comes and makes people laugh and tries to keep the energy positive and, you know, just being around. And then I just kind of closed everything off and then just locked myself away. And then, I just went through a mad change. It was weird. Like, I felt like I had to break myself down and build myself up again.
Do you feel like it was like a defamation of your character? Like, or your ego, maybe?
Yeah, my ego definitely got destroyed.
Really?
100%. Like, people, if you ask anybody that's known me from the point I was maybe 13, 14 years old, and you talk to them now, they'll tell you I'm a different person to who I was then. Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to just feel like I had this attitude. No one can tell me nothing. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. And life has a mad way of humbling you when you feel like that.
100%.
Life will come around and really slap you upside the head and make you know, like, relax, kind of thing. And that's what happened. And it was a lot to deal with. And because I always felt, because people come to me, like, I'm everyone's agony aunt. So when people are going through things, people are coming to me for advice. But then it's like, when I needed advice, I'm not somebody that asks for help.
Yeah.
So I've got my own problems, I'm taking on everybody else's problems, and I'm dealing with everybody else's, but I'm not dealing with mine. And because I'm a caring person, if somebody that I care for comes and tells me something, your problem automatically becomes mine.
Yeah.
So everything was building up. And it was very humbling, very humbling. My ego definitely got destroyed in the process. And I just realised that, again, I just had to be myself. I couldn't hide the fact that I was hurting. I couldn't hide the fact that I was depressed. I couldn't hide the fact that I'm not the same me, man. I went into this tunnel and I came out the other side, being in the darkness for so long, and you just think there is no light in here, but you keep going and keep going and keep going. But at one stage I didn't keep going. I literally stood there in it and I just said, you know, I'm gonna embrace it. And life was really weird at a stage. It was really, really weird for me at one point. Like, I was pushing away people who I've known for ages, and I was angry at the world, and I was getting into this, getting into that. Not saying that it was out of character for me to do it, but I was doing it more so than I usually would, but just off the fact of how I feel.
Yeah.
And I was projecting. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't dealing with it. I was projecting it instead of harnessing it and being
sitting
like,
deal
with it. It was like, it's everybody else's fault. And then it took for me to kind of be like, no, that's why I say you have to start with you.
Yeah.
And then everything else around you starts to change.
What was like the factor that made you realise, right now, I have to sit with myself and I have to sort my own stuff out? Because it's so easy to like give up when you're in that dark place, isn't it? Not always to the point of like suicide, but it's so easy to just be like, fuck it, this is my life now, and just embrace the negativity. But you've actually come out the other end. So for anybody who was watching, what was the factors that made you like?
Well, for me, it was my son. Because I thought, I can't have him looking at me like this. I don't want him to think that this is his dad.
Yeah.
Because it's not his dad. I'm just going through something right now, but I didn't want him to see, or I didn't want that to define me.
Yeah.
Or for him to think, because he was getting older and he was becoming more understanding, and he was picking up on, because kids at a young age, because they can't speak, the only way of, they communicate through energy, and they pick up on your energy and all these things. And I felt like I tried my hardest to keep him away from negative energy. So that means if I had somebody that was around me, and I thought, before you think, when I have kids, you're going to be uncle this. But then you have your child and you think,
I don't want you to be my child.
I don't want you around my child like that. And it was just things like that. And then I kind of thought to myself, if I'm trying to protect him from negative energy, it has to be everybody's negative energy. You can't just be selective with it. And then I kind of realised that I'm probably giving off some of that to him. And it just started with him. He was the main focus of it. I thought, I have to drag myself out of this for you. I can't have you looking at me like, I can't have you looking at me sideways. So I just, that was it for me.
Oh, Thank God for your son.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Romy's son. He's going to look back at this in like 10 years time, like, oh, who's that crazy lady? Yeah. How did you, like, when you was in the midst of all your depression and stuff, how did you cope with it?
Man, I don't, honestly.
Did you know it was depression?
No.
Okay.
I didn't, 100% didn't know. I just felt like I was, because I'm going to have to take it. So, I don't know if you're aware of him, but Joshua Rabia Depps.
Yeah.
He was like a little brother to me. So we was all like very close knit.
Yeah.
So obviously when that happened to him, I spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
And just as I was on the cusp of not accepting it, because I could never accept it.
Was you there?
No. But what happened is that I was in my house and someone called me and said, he's in a bit of trouble, you need to come down there. Because that's just how it was naturally. Like, if you're using drip, you're going to call it. Do you know what I mean? But, so, so when I was on the way there, I'm saying, give me the postcode. I don't know where you are, give me the postcode. And I got another call, he's been stabbed. So I'm like, I'm not thinking the worst of it. I'm just thinking, okay, getting stabbed is not a nice thing, but I'm thinking maybe arm, stomach. I'm not thinking the worst case scenario at all. So obviously I've got the people, everyone standing there looking like they've just seen a ghost, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I've just heard a conversation to my left. If he survives, that's going to be a miracle. And I thought, what? So all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. Found out that he got taken to Queen Elizabeth, and then we just shot up there, and we was all outside. And I remember his mum getting out of a taxi and then coming in and walking in. And then the doctors came out and said, yeah, he's stable. He's stable. Nothing. And then we've kind of like, because we stayed there from like the like late at night the day before till like 6-7 o'clock in the morning. So everyone's standing there. And then to a point where we were so like, okay, maybe he's going to pull through, and people started like moving off. And, yeah, we drove. I think we drove somewhere to get, I think it was a drink or something. Got a call, he's gone. And he was like, everybody just dropped everything they was doing, got back in the car, shot there. And then I just knew that that's where it started. That's where the spiral started. So that happened. Things happened in between and whatever. But that was the first time I ever seen a lot of my friends cry. Yeah. Because again, we was only young. I say young, but I was in my 20s. But you don't really look at your friends like we all look at each other like we're superheroes because we've been in. You look at just naturally as humans, we forget just how fragile life is.
100%.
And that was kind of a reminder.
Reality hit.
Yeah, reality hit. And it kind of just, yeah, man, it just changed everything. And I seen a lot of my friends in a state I've never ever seen them in. And that kind of, I won't lie to you, that put an anger in me that I couldn't control. Yeah. And things, again, little things happen here, there and everywhere, just off the back of what happened. And then, yeah, so we're dealing with all of this. And then a year later or so, my other good friend, Dara, passes away. So when I'm on the cusp of kind of dealing with what's happening with Josh, Dara dies, but he dies of natural causes. And I just thought, okay. But then he passed away in the same week I found out I was going to be a dad. So I couldn't be happy about that. Yeah. I was very, it was very like, and I was trying to be happy about it. I wasn't upset about being a dad. It wasn't a thing where I was so against it. I just couldn't be happy. I couldn't find it in me to be happy about it. And then, sorry, I'm telling you my life story.
No, but walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, so then, so going to scans and everything, and then found out, oh no, you're having twins. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's like, I'm thinking, okay, I've lost 2 friends. I'm about to gain 2. A month later, we go to the scan. One of the babies just stopped moving. Yeah, man, seriously, it was a lot. This is what I'm saying. And people are talking to me about, I've got people, why are you doing music? I'm like, yo, please don't. I'm not thinking about none of this stuff. Don't talk to me about music. It's the last thing I'm thinking about right now. So then that happened. It was just yeah, man, it was just a very hard 3 years, very hard 3 years, and then obviously, so then the pregnancy was tough because my son came 3 months early, and his mom still had to give birth to, because I was meant to have a boy and a girl, so his mom still had to give birth to his sister, and we had to have a funeral for her and everything. And I remember I had to carry the coffin, and I was like, I swear to God, I don't remember that day. Like,
really?
Yeah, and I've got a very good memory, and I don't remember that day. I just remember being outside. I remember seeing the coffin. I remember walking down the church, the island, the church, and everything else was a blur. And it didn't register to me at all. I was just floating through it. I felt like I floated through a lot of it. Yeah, so then at the same time, my son's in hospital 3 months early. It's like touch and go. Don't know if he's gonna make it or not. So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what is going on here, man? Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad. And then it just felt like, so remember when I said to you, it felt like one loss after another and another.
Really, really
everything was topping the last. Do you know what I mean? In a sense. And then yeah, so it was, and at the time I was working, I was working in Coventry, but I was having to, because my son's in hospital, I'm having to go to the hospital as early as I can, then going from the hospital to driving to Coventry, working till about 8 o'clock, going straight to the hospital, staying there till 1 o'clock in the morning, going home, and doing that for 3 months. So I was sleeping like 4 hours a day, if that.
Your whole body was just...
Yeah, I was just... And yeah, man, my hair wasn't cut. I was just looking scruffy as hell. And it was bad, man. I didn't care about how I looked. I didn't care about none of that stuff. Like, it wasn't important to me or nothing. And yeah, and then when my son came out of hospital, I remember that was the first day when they said, oh yeah, you can take him home. So it was very up and down, but then you can see that he was getting stronger and stronger, and then just going through the process of watching him like change every day. He looked different, and it was weird to see because because he's still going through the growing process, innit?
Oh yeah, because he was so immature.
Like, literally, he was so small, and his skin was so thin, and it was so weird. And I thought, what the hell? And I wasn't allowed to touch him or nothing at first, but then when they said to me, oh, you can hold him, so I held him, and I just thought to myself, I have to protect. As soon as I seen him, in fact, I thought, I have to protect you with my life. Like, I just felt that ultimate feeling of protect. I can't let nobody hurt you, nothing. And then so I just remember the day we got to take him home. I just remember I smiled the biggest smile ever, and I just thought, yeah, okay, cool. And then I had up and down days, and there was days I had bad days, but I had him looking at me and being like,
come on, daddy.
Yeah, like, and without even saying anything to me, and I just felt that need for somebody to be somebody that he can look up to as well. So yeah, it was a long 3 to 4 years. But like I would say, the 5th year, I kind of pulled myself out of it.
How did you do it?
I just stuck to my guns. I literally had to look at this depression because, again, I had to go through counselling.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, because I didn't know what I was feeling, and I felt like I wasn't dealing with things properly. I'm like shrugging things off and being like, yeah, I've dealt with it, but it's in the back of my mind causing all this mess at the back, and I'm trying to keep everything here neat, but I've got all this coming. Everything's flying, and I'm like, so I was just one day I said, you know what? So I went. Have you heard of Healthy Minds?
Yes.
So I went through them, sat down with somebody a few times, spoke to them, and then they said, you're dealing with what's it called? It's something to do with bereavement. So when you're going through,
it's not post-traumatic stress disorder.
There was that, and they said there's something else.
Not sure.
It said something about, I can't remember, but he literally said you're dealing with PTSD, and then something about bereavement, where you're not dealing with the death of somebody properly. And he says, because you've had one, and then another, and then another, you've kind of, it's not processing. So just as you're about to process one, something else happens and kind of knocks all the pieces away. So you have to start again. And then when you get to that point, it knocks it away again. So you're trying to process all three of these things happening at the same time, and you're not able to do it because you're not allowing yourself to go through the process, because it's a defense mechanism, and like you try and block things out because then it doesn't feel real. But yeah, it was a long time, but I stuck to my guns and I said nah, and then I spoke to somebody, and then I started feeling like they didn't necessarily care.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I started feeling like you don't care about what I'm saying right now. Like,
that made you feel angry.
Yeah, and I thought, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not telling somebody that doesn't care, that doesn't know me about how I feel. Especially
probably after bottling it, like building up the courage to even talk about it.
Yeah. So I was like, nah, I'm going to deal with this by myself. And it was just a little simple thing, like a haircut. Started with a haircut. And then, I don't know if you've seen it, but then there's a video on my Instagram where I say, my trim's too loud. I can't hear
you. You are funny. You are. I remember. I'm thinking about your posts now.
So I did that. So that was me kind of building myself back up. So it started with a haircut, and I started thinking, yo, my haircut's looking sharp today, you know, like, you know, and just like, not even to anybody but to myself. I'm like, and then once because my confidence was gone to pieces, everything was like, my self-esteem was missing. Everything, I'm telling you, I was a mess. So then I was just slowly doing little things, started caring about, so I started inside telling myself every day, like, yo, you've got this, you got this. And then, because I was suffering, and then after that I started suffering with anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, like really bad. I couldn't be, like, I'd go into, I shouldn't really tell anybody this, but I was going into town.
Yeah.
I remember I went into the lift in the car park beneath the bullring. I came up, the doors opened, and I started to panic.
Really?
I've never experienced anything like that before. And I said, what the hell? And my heart was going boom, 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 boom. And I started sweating. I'm thinking, what is going on? I shut the door, went straight back down.
Was you
and
by
I left.
yourself?
Yeah, I was by myself, and I left town. I don't think I've ever told anybody that. I think one or two people know, but I've never really told anybody that.
For sharing.
Yeah, but it's just, I just want people to know that they're not feeling things.
You're not on your own.
You're not on your own. You're not on your own. And this is coming from me. Like, people see me as like,
strong.
Yeah, like, not to mess with and do. But beneath all of this, like, there is like layers, and I've got mad chinks in my armor. I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, I'm solid 100%. I am solid now. I haven't always been. I had to go through things, go through the process, and build myself back up brick by brick by brick, and it took a long time, but I'm sitting here now and I'm good.
Do you still suffer from anxiety sometimes now?
Yeah, sometimes, but I know how to deal with it.
How do you deal with it?
Just I was explaining this earlier, but I just looked at anxiety like it was a person.
Yeah.
And this person is somebody I don't like, and you're trying to stop me living my life. You want me to not be around people because I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. You don't want me to make music because what comes with music is being around people, and you know that makes me feel away. And don't go outside, and you're this and you're that, and all these little things I'm telling myself in my head, and I'm thinking, nah, I'm not letting you. You're not telling me nothing about me. I know me. I've got this. And I just started to ignore it. The feelings that I felt like, don't go out. Because it was a long time I didn't go out because of the anxiety I was feeling, and I was having panic attacks and things like that. So I just kind of started to ignore, because it's like it might sound a little bit mad, but it's like voices, not in like a schizophrenic way.
I understand.
But it's like somebody saying something to you.
Yeah.
And you're listening to it, and I stopped listening.
And that is a really good point that you just made. Like, you are not the person that you can hear. You are the person listening.
Yeah.
So you have to block out anything that is not true.
Yeah.
And a lot of your thoughts are not true.
They're not true.
They either come up from like old programming, or it's the devil's energy, the negative energy coming in and trying to keep you suppressed, keep you suppressed. But
keep you
not
you down.
Not me,
not you. Like, nah, it's not happening. And yeah, that was it. That's just how I dealt with it. I just stuck to my guns. I had a goal. I said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this today. I'm definitely gonna go out and do this today. And just bit by bit, I kind of eased myself back into the open. Like everybody's gonna have to do when they open up everything again.
100%.
And to touch on that, I think it's gonna be very difficult for a lot of people to go back into the public. But I just want to say, like, don't let the voices, again, like you just said, you're not the one saying it, you're just listening, and it's none of it's true. You just have to ignore it. You honestly just have to ignore it, and just keep moving and keep living your life, because you only get one ride of this. You go around once and you get off, and that's it.
Literally. When you realise how short life is, obviously you've experienced it so many times because you've had so many deaths and stuff. When you realise how short life is and how that nothing actually really matters.
No.
You just like, the way that I see it, because I went through obviously a tough time, and I think that triggered a spiritual awakening for me. So I see things a little bit differently now. So I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and what comes with that human experience is emotions, is thoughts and feelings. And if you can separate those, or control, or learn how to master those emotions, those thoughts and those feelings, your whole ego will disintegrate, and you can then just become your soul. And if you are living for your soul's purpose and from your soul, you will be in alignment. And then the bad days that you have when you're in disalignment, that's the way that I say it. It's just your body's just gone for a software update, like literally, like it's just gone out to recalibrate, and when it comes back, you'll shoot forward again. That's a very good way of putting it. I have a very vivid imagination, so I have to like picture everything so it can make sense to me, then I can explain it to other people. But
I understand.
do you feel the same? Do you feel like it's a spiritual awakening that you went through?
100%. I'd be lying if I said no. It definitely was something woke up in me. Like I said, I went through this tunnel of darkness and I came out the other side different. Different. Like, I just wasn't the same. I didn't care about things that everybody else cares about. Like, all the little things, like you just said, things that don't matter, that we think that we concern ourselves with. These little things that they're so minor when you actually think about it. And I stopped caring about those things. I stopped doing certain things that I was doing. I kind of like, I didn't change the people I was around, but I just changed my whole approach to certain situations. Like, before, I had a very ignorant way of dealing with things, once upon a time, I would say. And I had this, as I said, I had this very I don't care and no one can tell me nothing kind of attitude. And again, life has a way of humbling you, and I feel like, I know it sounds mad, but losing what I did gave me everything that I've gained. And I'm not perfect. Nobody is. We all make mistakes.
100%.
And we're all still learning. No matter how far ahead you think you are, or how improved you think you are, every day is a chance for you to learn something new about yourself, and for you to teach somebody else something new. So I definitely went through a spiritual awakening to a point where I was very accepting of who I was as a person. And that's why I say, be yourself unapologetically.
Do you suffer from any anxieties now?
Yeah, it's just it's just small things though. Just little small things, like
passing anxiety. I call it passing anxiety. So it comes and then it goes.
Yeah,
like, what am I on about?
Yeah. What am I on about? Like, literally, like, there'll be, again, it's the whole, I think it's being in public for me. I don't know what it is.
I'm the same, I'm
Seriously.
very introverted. I come here today. I come here on Tuesday, but then the rest of the days I stay in, because it's like it's because I feel like when you go through a spiritual awakening, you become very sensitive to energies around you. And I think 100%. Social anxiety is based around probably being in the wrong social circles before, and when you bring yourself back into like a social environment, you're very nervous because it's new. And I think that's what causes social anxiety. I've just gone off track then. What did I say before that?
Were you talking about passing anxiety?
Passing anxiety, and then I went on to say something and I got sidetracked with social anxiety. But either way, introverted. I'm very introverted. I'm introverted because of that reason, and it's took me so long to build up being around other people, because I had such a fear of people, like, I had such a fear of people seeing me for somebody who I wasn't. And that is why your bio stuck out so much to me, like, be you unapologetically, because why should you have to explain who you are to anybody?
Exactly.
Especially when you're not doing anybody any harm.
Exactly.
Especially when you don't owe anybody anything. Yep. And all these people can have their opinions of you, but how is that actually going to affect your life?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It only affects your life if you allow it. And the only person's life that it affects is yours because of you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I prefer to be introverted.
Yeah.
I can be a social butterfly, but then it takes me like 3 days to recover.
You know, I was having this conversation with my friend like 2 days ago, and I said to him, I said, I'm naturally an introvert, and I can be social, but it exhausts me.
Yeah.
Like, it exhausts me the way I think to a point, like, oh, God, man.
People.
Like,
I say to my friend, it's too humany out there for me today.
It's too humany, that's funny. It's too humany. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying, because I'm exactly the same. I was saying to my friend, like, and he was like, yeah, the same. It's exhausting. It's like people find introverts interesting. He's like, I don't get it, but it's true. Like, people always saying to me, he's so mysterious and you're interesting. I'm just trying to suss you out. I'm like, why do you want to suss out? Just like, leave me alone. Like, there's nothing. Suss yourself out. Yeah, like, go figure yourself out.
Elevate.
Don't worry about me. I'm interesting. Like, I'm some zoo animal. Don't take the mic.
What I do as well is I come out, I give out all this energy that I've, been building up for the past week. Give it all out, and then when I come home, it's not like I don't feel exhausted and drained anymore unless I've been like, when you're on holiday and you're doing I'm not physically active, so I'm more mentally active. So when I'm inside, I'll make sure that my diet's right, I'll make sure that I'm exercising, I'll make sure that I'm reading and filling myself with what I need. So then when I go back out, I'm solid then, so I won't have anxiety because I know that across the board I'm okay, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, I'm okay. I think that is very vital in being a sensitive soul.
But it's true though. It's very important, man. You have to take care. Again, it starts from the inside. You have to recharge yourself on all levels, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, and when I say that, I mean like by what you're digesting, and mentally and orally. You have to look after yourself and make sure you recharge up and prepare yourself, especially when you are an introvert and you're not naturally social. Yeah, you have to do these things. Self-care is very important.
So important.
Very important.
What's your self-care routine?
Now you know what it is. My self-care, I just like to, whether it's like, I like to educate myself. So I look after, my self-care starts with me feeling this, and just by being understanding. Yeah. So I don't know if you'll get it, but I like to be able to break a situation down and look at it from every single aspect that there is. I don't just want to be like, oh yeah, this is the left corner opinion, but when there's so many perspectives that you can look at. So my self-care starts with me trying to be as understanding as I can. I don't want to be somebody that's ignorant to things, and I don't want to be somebody that people can't speak to because I don't get it. Like I try and get it. So I feel like my self-care starts with my mind. I try and keep my mind clear of people's like I'd say weirdo energy and negative energy, and people that just try and not downplay but kind of crush dream crushers, and people that have nothing good to say. I try to keep myself clear of those people. I like people that I feel that I connect with on a deeper level than the eye can see. Yeah. I like to connect with people on deeper levels, and I like to have those people around me. So when I feel like I connect with somebody spiritually and I think, yo, I message you, man. Like, there's people I've met and straight away you're like, boom. Do you know what I mean? Instant connection. And that's not because you don't even know each other. You've hardly spoke 2 words to each other, but you know that I could have a great conversation with you. That's where my self-care is at. Obviously, physically, I like to take care of myself now more than I did when I was going through everything.
So you're bougie now?
Nah, not bougie. Nah, I wouldn't say bougie. I just like to make sure, because again, I'm not an image conscious person. I'm not somebody that thinks, oh, I have to look a certain way for people to care about me. I'm like, if you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve to be around me at my best.
Yeah, get out my frequency.
Yeah, and seriously, because I know that me at my best, I'm a different level.
Levels.
So when people are like, look at you and like, you got, and they're trying to judge you by what you have on, I'm like, I don't want to be around you because that's just weird to me.
Yeah. And judgment is like anything is anything that makes you feel a certain way or is involved with hate in any sense of it.
Yeah.
Is negative energy
100%
within itself.
100%. So, yeah, I just try. I don't know, but I'm not. Yeah, so I just like to take care of myself and make me feel good about me.
Yeah.
It's not about what everybody else thinks. I do things because I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Fill your own cup up.
Yeah, just like I want to do this for me. I don't care about what Instagram thinks. I don't care about what everybody else thinks. I'm more making sure that I never go to that place where I didn't care about myself again. So I make it a thing to be like, yo, take care of yourself.
It's like high maintenance. I say I'm high maintenance, and that's not the kind of high maintenance that everybody would think. It's the high maintenance where I need to make sure that I have enough food in my body for me to be able to circulate energy. I need to be able to drink enough water. Like there's so many things that can affect your energy, 100%. And it's the tiniest things that make the biggest difference. It really, really is. If you drink 2 litres of water a day after not drinking like hardly any water ever, which was me, you will feel your energy elevating. If you have a hot shower and then at the end of the shower just turn it cold, you'll wake up your electrolytes. Oh my God, I bet you have a better day.
I've started doing that, you know.
I've started
doing that, like literally, like I would have a shower and then I'll turn it cold and I'll just firm it.
We got this.
It's a mad shock to your system, but it makes you alert. There's a lot of pros to doing that, and again, that was just from me. I found that out by just researching into things like how to take care of yourself and keep keeping your maintenance levels top because there's like you said, it's little things that people that they look over and they don't really think it's that's nothing, but just do it, just try it.
I used to always be lethargic, always. I never had any energy. I was depressed, but I was a functioning person with depression, so I used to work and stuff. But I never had the energy. Like I was always so tired. And then at one point, I used to say to my mum, like, "Mum, I can't get out of bed. Like I'm just so tired all the time." She's like, "Well, you eat loads of shit. Like sort your diet out." Da, 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 da. And then I tried loads of things. I started eating dairy, started drinking more water, tried different things, and then I just cut meat out. Yeah. And you know, when I cut meat out, I did lose a lot of weight, and I didn't need to lose weight. I lost a lot of weight, but I had way more energy. Yeah. I felt so much better. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's the way forward for everybody, but that was the way forward for me. And it was more in kind of like because of self-discipline, because I lived on my own. I'd order food and I'd have to order so much to get over so it would deliver it to me. Yeah. But I'm a greedy little bitch. And I'd eat all the food and then I'd order a dessert, but I'd have to order 2. So again, same thing. So then I'd just be, no wonder I couldn't get up in the morning. I was like this. So it's given me that level of discipline that I don't ever want to come back from. Yeah. Do you believe in God?
No. I believe in a higher power. I don't.
So you believe in a force greater than yourself?
I believe in a force greater than myself. I don't believe in a single thing. I believe in the universe. A lot of people are going to be shocked to hear me say that, but I believe in the universe, and I haven't always thought like that. But when you have people around you that open, again, you have people that are like-minded, people that can see deeper than skin level. And
see straight through.
Yeah, it's like, and they're very supportive of that thing, that the way that you think. Yeah. And it doesn't seem mad, because sometimes you have the conversation with people and they look at you like, you are nuts. But you realise you're not mad, you're just not at that level yet. But it's fine, because you'll get there. You will get there. But again, I had like I was a rude awakening, because mine wasn't like a...
You was pushed into it.
I was pushed into it. And I think it's what I needed. Yeah. So it's mad that everything that I went through, and I wish to God if I could change it, I would. But it's made me a better person. Yeah. So I'm kind of
You're grateful for how
it's changed me, but I'm
sad for the losses.
I'm sad for the losses. I just wish it didn't cost that.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, nothing in this world comes for free, but you don't get to choose.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
You don't.
But I was having this conversation with somebody earlier. When you lose people, you strengthen your spiritual world, because you've got people rooting for you in a realm that you're not associated with yet. And I think that's kind of what can give you that like driving force as well, because you have got extra, like, you got little like fans, like fans that are pushing you when you don't even know that they're around and stuff. So everything is a blessing, and everything happens for a reason. And we were all just walking each other home, and we were all going to be seeing each other again one day.
Yeah, seriously.
That gives you comfort. You have to think like that, because it comforts you.
It does.
On the bad days.
Yeah, 100%. And also, it's even with the whole music thing, and it contributes to it, because before I kind of struggled with feeling like I didn't really have a support system and stuff like that. But now I think about the people that are in, obviously, or that are on the other side, and I think about how much they rooted for me, and then obviously now I have a support system, like my close friends, like they're 100% like they're onto me, and they're like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that, and they're very supportive. But then I just feel a deeper support system. Like I feel like, yo, so somebody has literally because there's days where I'll think to myself, I'm not in the mood for music, you know, and I know I've got to do something. But then I'll just have this mad, like, I'll jump up and I'll be like, yo, I've just got a mad burst of creativity, and I think, where did that come from? My friend, I swear to God, I wish my friends was here. They'll say it to you, like, I don't know where it comes from.
Really?
Yeah, it's like somebody pushes me and says, yo, do
it now.
And I know who would be doing that if they was here. So I kind of feel like, is it that? And I don't want to seem like I'm mad, but that's the feeling that I get. Like, I think somebody is putting a battery in my back, and I can't. Amazing. Yeah, it's mad. It is mad. But I'm grateful for it.
What do you do when you feel creative? Do you write and stuff? Do you write your own?
I don't really write, you know. I don't really write. It's only sometimes I write. Like if I have to write because I know that I'm preparing for something, then I'll write. But even then, it's a process where I'll.
So you freestyle?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sometimes it happens when I've been literally messing around with music since I was like 14, 15 years old. And again, like I said, I've only just been. So when people ask me, I say, yeah, for like 5 years, because I've only just been like taking it seriously. Before it was just a mess around thing, innit? But yeah, so it's a thing where the process will start with, I'll know what I want to say in my head. I'll know how I want to start. And then sometimes I'll think, okay, just say, you know how you're going to start it. So you write that down. And then when I'm recording, it might just come out. When I'm doing the first two, I might just do an extra 4, and I think, oh yeah, that's good, that is. And then I write another extra 3, and then because I've done the extra 3, another extra 2 might come out and it just, like, if I show you my notes, like, the lyrics are, the gaps as mad, like, there's 2 lines here, nothing, and you're like, how are you? I'm like, yeah, I feel
up here, I know what I'm doing.
I'm just feeling the gaps as I'm going, but it's one of them things. That's why I know I'm supposed to be doing it, because it comes to me so naturally. It's unreal.
And you are good.
Thank you.
I remember when we did do that song, and I sent it to like my little brother, because he's all into like music and stuff, and he was like, "Oh my God, is that Romeyfive?" I was like, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is."
Sick. That's sick. That is big up your little brother.
So you've got lots of like fans from before that are ready for you to jump back straight back into it. What's your like plan? I know obviously we've spoke about you're gonna, not an album, but you're putting all of everything together. So are you gonna do visuals for them? Are you going the whole way, or just, I don't know, tell me how it works?
Yeah, it's visuals. I think that's where I've been lacking. I'll be completely honest. I've had to be very real and honest with myself, and that's where I've been lacking the most. Like, I do visuals and I think, can't be bothered.
Are you hard on yourself?
Yeah, very. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist.
Gotta let that go, man.
But you know that seriously, because because I'll start doing something and I'll get a verse and then a hook, and then I'll start another verse and I think this song's rubbish, man, and I'll delete it.
You shouldn't delete it.
I shouldn't, but that's what I've been. No, I don't do it anymore, but that's how I used to be. But I'm trying to get over that whole perfectionist thing, but it's hard. when it comes to your creativity, man, it's so hard.
I think everything comes back round, full circle.
100%.
So there's things that I've done like a year ago or a couple of years ago, and only now are they being used. Only now am I using that content or using them lyrics, because I used to write music when I was very depressed. And now I'm not as depressed. Well, I wouldn't say I'm depressed at all anymore, but when I'm like when I'm going to look through all these, listening to these songs or looking at these things, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not that person anymore. But when you're actually completely out of it, you're like, somebody that's gonna help somebody.
100%. Because I can relate to that, because my storyteller is what kind of set me in stone, kind of thing. That was my jumping mark, and I don't even listen to that no more, because I listen to it and I think, yo, you was depressed, bro. And I don't even listen to it no more. And there's loads of things that I've done that people loved, and I'm like, I can't listen to that no more, because it reminds me of that space. And I'm just not fearful, but I'm kind of wary of being dragged back into that space by anything. So I just... I kind of avoid.
You gotta protect your energy, because that energy, even though it was authentic to you at the time, it's going to attract a lot of what was that authentic energy 100%. At the time. So you stay like kind of where you're at now, and move forward. You know what I did a lot of, and I've really had to learn this past year to get myself out of living in the past. It's very, very hard to fall back into like old patterns and old habits and all that kind of stuff, and remembering how it was in a certain place. You got to constantly think forward.
I struggled with letting go of the past, just naturally. I find it hard to let things go. I think it's because I'm such a trier, and I don't like to give up. I don't like to say I failed. So I think, in my head, even though a situation might be dead and buried, I always think about ways I could have fixed that. I could. Oh man, I should have done that different. And I was constantly living in a loop in my head, trying to fix everything that I physically can't fix. Man, I just had to let go of it.
Yeah, you
gotta
let go of it. Surrender it to the universe.
It's done.
It takes up too much headspace.
Seriously, and stuff. It does. And you're thinking about things that you don't even want to be thinking about sometimes. And then you might even just think to yourself, maybe I should. Nah, don't even bother. Don't even attempt it. Nah, literally, like, you think, don't even attempt it, because you're thinking, oh, you know what? I was cool with this person. Maybe I should try it. And you think, no, there's a reason. For why this turned out the way it did. I'm very happy that you just said that. Yeah, because that's what it is. Like, a lot of the time, it's like friendships, or it could be relationships. In the past, it's been relationships where I think, I can fix this. Like, I think about it so much, and I think, I can fix that, you know. Even if it doesn't end up the way it was, I can kind of get some of the feeling back, even if it's just the friendship element of it. And sometimes you just have to be like, yo, there's a reason why you let that has gone, so let it go. And again, that was a whole part of the finding myself process, was to be like, this is not me, you know. Like, I'm not this guy. I don't chase nothing. I'm not even on a arrogant thing. I'm just like, I'm not that person. Yeah, I'm not chasing nothing. So if it's gone, let it go. It's this, that. And I just had to be like, it's so mad, because when I was going through what I was going through, I used to get called, people used to say, oh, you're cocky, you're arrogant. And then when I went through what I went through, and was like, oh, look, like how the mighty have fallen, kind of thing. Come on, man. There's people that couldn't wait, that love to see me in that space, 100%. There's people that love seeing me in that space. But then when I started getting my confidence back, it was like, oh, you're cocky again. And it's like,
you can't win then?
I can't win. And that's when I thought, that's it. No more people pleasing.
Yeah.
This is about self, and that's it now.
And when you elevate, when you do the work on yourself and then you elevate, people naturally drop out of your frequency, and you'll notice that the only time you'll think about those people is if you're bored. And that's because you're just dropping down to a frequency, but you 100%. You don't awake the dead, man.
You're not,
leave them where they are.
Yeah, you're not necessarily doing anything to feed your higher frequency. You're just sitting, and then you're just slowly, you can physically feel yourself like lowering yourself down, and then your thoughts become a bit more, what's the word? I don't want to say simple, because that's rude.
Negative
basic. And basic. Like, your thoughts become a lot more basic, and you start thinking about just things that you used to think about ages ago, and you start thinking about old things, and it's like, you're not that person anymore. Like, you've elevated think that's why I like reading. Keep my mind moving.
Do you know reading is a form of meditation as well?
I know.
And writing.
Yeah.
And singing and dancing. Guess what I do in the mornings? When I start doing my morning meditation, I'm dancing around my living room having a little sing-song.
Yeah, you have to do it though.
To smooth.
That's why when people are saying, "Oh man, I can't wait to get back out and go in the club," I'm like, "Yo, why don't you just turn on some music in your house and just enjoy yourself in your house?" Like, I'm not in a rush. I've already decided, like, when things open back up, I'm not in a rush to go into a club. I don't care about. Yeah, like it's not even. I'm not interested. So I'm just somebody that will put music on in my house. I'll clean up. I'll, vacuum and have fun with it. And it's like that. For being an introvert, for me, that's entertainment. It's entertainment enough. So some people don't get it. Why I'm not in a rush to. How come you're not like how come you're not doing what they're doing, and how come you're not? I'm like, because I'm not that person, and I'm not interested in that. It doesn't interest me.
Nah.
Literally,
I cannot physically drink. My body does not take to alcohol and humans. So a club environment is the worst. A club environment is like the worst environment for me. Everybody's like, I think it's going to be open for someone. We're going to go here, and here. And I'm like, and I just think, oh, God, I got some time to talk myself out of it. Yeah. I'll go on holiday instead.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's what it is, though. And even down to going on holiday, traveling, seeing the world, just taking in the world. And I love views. I love a good view.
Get lost in there.
Yeah, just get lost and just like get lost in another way of living, because then it just all helps. And there's a lot of these are like realizations that I was coming to. Like, I thought to myself, I need to do this more. I need to travel more. I need to be around my family more and appreciate my family more. And everybody that I love, I want them to know that I love them. And all these, just everything I was just realizing, and everything I don't have time for. I'm not making time for it. I'm not entertaining foolishness no more. I'm not arguing with people. Like, I'm just like, man, please. I used to be argumentative. I'm not gonna say I'm not now. I still like to, when you got a point, I like to get my point across, but I try and do it differently now. Instead of the shouting match, who can be the loudest, it's like, let's have a conversation and talk about it.
Let's understand where each other are coming from.
Again, it's all about me just trying to be more understanding. It's all about
trying to be was you very close-minded before?
100%. 100%. And I'm not saying, not having my son didn't spark that. I felt like I was already becoming more open-minded. Yeah. And I feel like, again, the situation that I went through kind of like sped up the process. But I was already becoming more of an open-minded person.
That's good.
I was already becoming that. So, yeah, it's mad, man. It's been a mad journey, but I'm grateful for everything. As I said, everything I've lost has gave me what I've gained. Yeah. And I'm very upset with what it cost. Life just humbled me. Yeah. Extremely.
And that's a good place to be.
Yeah. Humble. Yeah. Like, no ego. People mistake your confidence for cockiness, and they mistake your self-belief for arrogance, and they mistake all these things that you're supposed to feel about yourself. They mistake it for something negative because they don't understand it. That's what it is. They don't understand. So you believe, because if you don't believe in yourself, people, oh, come on, man, what's wrong with you believing in yourself? But you believe in yourself too much, you're cocky. Yeah. You are arrogant. You think you're too nice. You're full of yourself. Who else am I supposed to be full of? Like, I don't get it.
Exactly. I know, like, people, I obviously was a bad people pleaser. I used to always put everybody else before myself. And then I turned selfish, but selfish to the way where as long as I've got, you get, but you don't get if I don't have, basically. So then everybody was like, oh, you're selfish, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, adhere to everything that you want for me. I'm sure that makes you selfish. Exactly. It's like double standards. It doesn't even make sense. When you deep it, what people expect from you is not what they're actually giving, and what they expect from you is not even, like, it doesn't even make sense.
Amen.
But the problem that we face with is we was born into a very negative world, into a very negative environment, and to be positive or do something for yourself, it's actually seen as you're crazy or you're weird, or actually no, you are, but
and you're a sheep in it, because you don't even try to think any other way than the way that you've been programmed to think, and it's just that. Like some people don't. It's like back to the whole coronavirus thing. It's a very big, very, very good example for you have some people that are sheep and you have some people that are classed as what would you call it, like rebels, because you have people that when it first came about, you had people that was, oh no, can't do this, and people are going nuts for toilet roll and all these other things. But you've had people from the very start like, I don't care about what they're saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's not real, but you've had people that have been like, nah,
it's consumed them.
Yeah, like
the whole thing is consumed them.
And they are, sorry to cut you, but they're people that they're afraid to think for themselves. You can see who's afraid to think for themselves, and you can see who is open-minded about things. And it's mad because this is like, I'm seeing people arguing over masks. People like, I'm just seeing so much weird things, and I'm thinking, man, like, is this how much? And you really realize how much people are actually stuck in that way of thinking. It's mad. It's absolutely mad.
And look, you follow certain guidelines all your life from the government and stuff, only to be forced into an environment where you've lost all control over every aspect of your life. And if that doesn't force you to think for yourself, I really don't know what will.
Seriously.
How did you manage the lockdown, like quarantining and stuff?
I just made music, you know. The first time we was in, I just made music. I just made loads of music. I put out an EP. Like, I put on some questionnaire thing on was it Instagram, when you can ask a question. Yeah. And I just said, oh, he wants me to make a isolation EP. But I noticed a lot of people was doing it, but I didn't want to call it isolation. I didn't want to call it lockdown. I didn't want to call it anything. I just didn't know what I was going to call it. And I remember I asked the question, I said, oh, do people want me to make it? And everyone was like, yes. And I thought, oh, Lord.
What have I done?
Yeah, what have I done? And I thought, you know what? But literally, because I have a room where I record in my house, and I was just in there, and I was just in there with my thoughts, and I kind of tried to think about everything that was going on and all these other things, and then I just came up with the Ice Chili Code thing, and then I just threw it out, and everyone was like, yo, and I'm like, it's not even cocky, but that took me 3 days to put together, and people was like, yo, you've been sitting on this. I'm like, no, like, you asked me to do it, and I just created it. Like, honestly, and that's how I get, like, when I'm in that space, and I'm somebody that I like to be in my house anyway. I'm not somebody that I don't want to be here, there, and everywhere. I'm very comfortable being in my house, so I haven't been affected by that. The only thing that's really annoying me is the gym. That's what's doing my head in, because I can't be in the gym. I can't just go and be in that environment, and sometimes working at home, it's not the same thing, because it's an experience. The gym is an experience. You go to the gym,
you get everyone's like
everyone. You can see everyone's trying to get to a goal. We've all got the same destination in mind. We're just taking different paths to get there, and I think that's mad to like witness. And again, it's a part of the experience. So I miss that, but other than that, and I miss just being able to be around my friends and without there being, oh, you're gonna get a 10 grand fine for. You're like, man, you're being serious. Yeah. But I can go and. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. But I just miss being able to just do things that pleased me socially.
Yes, and it's all coming back.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
With your rebirth.
Yep.
And mine.
Yep.
I'm excited.
We're going through it. We're breaking through.
We move.
Breaking through and breaking out.
That's it. I love that. Yeah. Breaking down to break through, and then you break through to break out.
Yep.
Oh, what have we just done? Is that a new quote I feel coming?
It's the Insta captions.
Literally. You'll see it. You'll be like, oh, she took that from me. She stole my bars. Right, Romy. I'm going to finish up, but I want to finish up with you giving a kind of, for anybody who's gone through depression or any way you can motivate someone that's true to your heart, how would you do it? Younger kids, teenagers, adults?
I would just say to them, like, again, be yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't feel pressured by none of this social media stuff. Half of it's not real. But not even half. Most of it isn't real. A lot of people are, trying to portray an image that isn't real, and I feel like it's putting a lot of pressure, especially on young kids, because I'm seeing kids with things that I'm thinking, why have you got this? How did you get this? And I think it's all from pressures and stuff like that. So don't feel pressured by what's going on outside. Focus on you on the inside. Focus on you as a person. Be the person that your family loves. Be the person that your people love. And be the person that you love to be. Don't be afraid to be yourself around anybody. Like, it's like me with this whole singing thing. Like, when at one point it was weird for me to do that because people are looking at me like, you're soft. But anyway, so yeah, it's like,
not soft.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, just be yourself, man, and don't care about what people think. It's not about what people think. It's all about how you feel about yourself. It's about how everybody that you love feels about you. So as long as you're doing that correctly, as long as you're, chasing your goals and chasing your dreams and never giving up and just being who you want to be unapologetically, that's it. Don't worry about the noise. Everything else is background noise. Focus on what you think is important, and that's it.
Do you know what I really loved what you just said? That really hit me was be the person that your family love and be the person that your friends love, because they're the people that know you the most
100%.
And they love you for being you.
100%.
So whoever that person is, that is the true authentic version of you.
That's the true version of you.
I feel a new version of me coming out soon. I'm joking. Right then, everybody, that was Romy on Instagram at Romeyfive.
Indeed.
We'll put the tag down there for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to have you towards the end of the year as well to, go through everything else.
We'll do it, man. We'll do
Little
it.
superstar.
We'll do it.
I'm expecting to be on one of your hosts as well.
I told you, man, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. 100%. I ain't finished. I haven't finished.
Really?
Nah,
I'm going to be nosing you.
Yeah, man. So we'll get it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Name matters, yeah, my chain swing left, right. I know I'm destined for great things, that's right. They wouldn't understand where our brother's coming from.